every day on YouTube I see one Western blogger. Here's what it's like to be in Mumbai. My God, the road and the people and the juice and the head massage, etc., etc. The joke that I do about Pakistan, I think every Indian will laugh at that joke. It's not a very flattering joke. I may not always be the relatable, "Arey, he's speaking my hometown ka situation." I do speak Marathi. I can speak Marathi.
Of course, we all
I've lived in Mumbai long enough, so I can.
But I understand where the joke is coming from, especially in today's climate with language.
Yeah, right. And I explain it to white people. I explain what the gali means, right?
Yeah.
But you should see the Indian crowd. Social media is at many levels a failure, but at some levels a success. For me, if you look at all the stories in the special, I'm the loser in every story. Think about it. The number of Mumbaikars who are scratching themselves and one picking nose and one, it's just you have to edit it the other angle. Not even because of the lead artist, but because, Madam, aap kya kar rahi hai?
Hi, this is Bhavna and you're watching India Today. Well, today I'm joined by someone whose work I really admire. Like he has once very popularly said, there are two Indias, one which loves his humor and really appreciates it, and second, who are a little dicey, they don't know which side to pick. Well, I come from the first India and welcoming with us on India Today.
I'm trying to perform for both Indias, hopefully.
Yes, I watched your next special which is coming full volume. That's the trick, it goes both ways. But and really enjoyed it because like I said, your humor is the kind of humor I really enjoy. But tell me, I mean, because you have always received such glorious remarks, at least worldwide, globally, and there's this one thing in the special where you say, where you very hysterically say that, oh, Indian humor is not global. And I was just like, oh my God, you say that in the special while you're actually going global and making it mainstream for all of us. Tell me, how do you balance this, both the voices, where you're saying something and also contradicting it in your own way?
I think there's two types of comedy, right? There's comedy that is relatable, right? And I think to be relatable, you have to have some sort of deep grounding and deep understanding of that place. And it took me a while to figure out that for not my choosing, but I've grown up everywhere. I 8 years in Africa, then boarding school in Kasauli, then Delhi Public School, Noida, then Galesburg, Illinois, then London, then America, then back to Mumbai, then Goa, then Mumbai. And so I'm not really from anywhere. So my best choice is to be global, So I may not always be the relatable, "Arey, he's speaking my hometown ka situation," but maybe I can be the comic who introduces you to something from somewhere else. So I think that's the point.
I mean, you did it well with Marati.
With Marathi,
I thought that was so hilarious when you were trying to do it, because I understand for anyone who is an outsider to sort of like adapt and learn the language.
I mean, the joke is, but it's dated, but I do speak Marathi. I can speak Marathi.
I mean, of course, we all
I've lived in Mumbai long enough, so I can,
But I understand where the joke is coming from, especially in today's climate with language. And it's so unreal, I mean, because I think it only happens in India where language can also become a thing for discrimination.
I mean, I've never been discriminated against because of my language, but there is a bit in the special about how...
I love that. The bit that where the police officer is saying that, can you repeat everything for me in Marathi? And I'm like, oh my God.
Well, there's an English bit in the special where we have more English speakers in India than America.
Yeah, true.
We have one of the largest English-speaking audiences in the world. So I think an English comic in India is very relatable.
Absolutely.
If you think about it.
You have proved it time and again.
Touch wood.
No, but how do you balance this West and East thing? Because I feel like that is what makes you...
take a camera and you shoot in both of them and you cut it together. It's not rocket science.
No. But in terms of content, because like you said, it is true that a lot of times when especially a comedian performs in the West, it's difficult to make them relate to things which are particularly very, relatable in India.
Well, I think you explain, but what I like about an Indian audience is they will say, okay, explain. मेरे को भी देखना है कैसे explain करता है. You know what I mean? So like there's a bit in the special where I explain one gali, right? And I explain it to white people. I explain what the gali means, right? Yeah. But you should see the Indian crowd, because in the Comedy Cellar, it's maybe 70% American, 30% Indians are there in this thing, because we've done it unplanned. We just showed up on a night, right? But even the Indians are like, हाँ यार मेरे को भी देखना है कैसे समझाएगा ये गाली जो हमने इतने सालों से we have used this gali and it has such set context. How will he explain this gali to a white person? Even I want to see it test pass करता है कि नहीं. You know what I mean? So that way an Indian crowd is very patient with you. Yeah. You know, in Veerdas for India there was a row of white people and they would light up and we'd explain things to them, right? But the Indian crowd would be very curious to see, like,
how is he going to explain?
How will you explain Andheriya mode ki chudail to an American person?
True.
But there are so many local options in America or the UK who will tell Americans the 5 things about India that they understand already. Turmeric, yoga.
Oh yeah. Turmeric latte.
Convenience store owner, my conservative father, and something. I've come all this way. I've stood in the embassy line, I've taken a visa, I've stood in JFK for 3 hours. Why will I talk to you about those 5 things? वो तो आपको locally मिलता है ना.
True.
So I should introduce you to some things you don't know about.
Yeah. But is it always difficult? I mean, I'm always curious to know your process, because I feel like you sometimes use Instagram as well to bounce off certain ideas. Like recently when you wrote about Prada, and I was like, he's of course telling his opinion through that post, but also I feel like I see you using that in your special at some point, perhaps. You know,
my social media is at many levels a failure, but at some levels a success, in terms of it is possibly a failure in terms of its reach and its virality, etc., etc. But it is very much a success in that it's a very real interaction between me and my audience. There are no middlemen between my audience and me. So I put a post up today saying I'm doing a run of podcasts to promote this special, and I feel like I'm shit on podcasts because you know, podcasts are either like bakchodi chal rahi hai, you know what I mean, or podcasts are gyan,
deep,
very deep, and I'm socially anxious and I'm dumb, so I'm not good at either one, but I can tell my audience that, and they're like, huh.
But Veer, is that the trick? Because I mean, this is something I learn every time I watch any of your work or just hear you speak, because I think the fact that you even titled this Fool Volume, your tour was called Mindful, like, this is something that I've seen, that you already say that मैं dumb हूँ, मैं fool हूँ, like, so that people just come in probably expecting nothing. Is that how you like want to
It was
position?
Important for me to have the title Fool in the special, because Landing is a lovely show, but Landing is a sad show. You know what I mean? It is about a tragedy at the heart of Landing. The inciting incident is a tragedy in this thing. And then I lost my voice 6 weeks before I did this show. And I kind of came out and I stood in front of a stadium and I was like, I just want to have some fun here. You know, and I think stand-up is not as deep as I think it is. I think the audience has way more power than I do. I think the people are actually listening to the audience than watching a comedian tell truth. So, you know, etc., etc. So let me really mess with this audience and let me put them in darkness and see what happens, and then let me make them all sing galis and see what happens. Like, let's really let loose a little bit. So let's be a fool. I think that's the idea.
I think in today's time especially, it's wise to be a fool, because only fools really get to do what they really want to. So I really love it, and that is something I take away every time I watch something, because I'm like, कोई तुम्हें कुछ बोले उससे पहले तुम ही बोल दो भाई कि you are this, so that then that's also. But is that your defense mechanism as well, like in ways?
I mean, most comedians are running off of a defense mechanism, right? But I think a bad version of stand-up is cool boy conducting assembly in school. You know what I mean? As opposed to how did this loser get on stage? You know, and so for me, if you look at all the stories in the special, I'm the loser in every story. Think about it. You know, there's an interaction with the policeman, there's an interaction with an alpha male, there's an interaction where I've on the back of a motorcycle, there's an interaction with the therapist, there's an interaction on a flight, there's an interaction with my nephew. I lose
in all the interactions.
In all the interactions, right? So I think for that reason, hopefully I endear.
You do, I mean, because I think हार के जीतने वाले को बाजीगर कहते हैं. This is like a stand-up version of that you share experiences where you are sort of not seen in the most flamboyant light.
Not at all.
But उसी में हंसी आ रही है सभी को.
But there's nothing flamboyant about this special.
But
if you
that's
think
what
about
makes
it,
it special.
Yeah, it's a stadium with no set.
Yeah.
And no lighting.
Yeah.
It's one light, and there's 12,000 people around the guy who are fully lit. You can see every face in the stadium. And by the way, to edit it is a nightmare because the number of Mumbaikars who are scratching themselves and one picking nose and one, it's just you have to edit it, the other angle. Not even because of the lead artist, but because, madam, aap kya kar rahi hai, 5 feet behind me, etc. So you have to edit around them also.
No, I can imagine. It must be a nightmare.
It's a nightmare to perform for also because the first rule of stand-up is put the crowd in darkness. And they will, if you look at 90% of stand-up comedy specials, you barely see the crowd.
Yeah, it's only when you're interacting maybe the
spotlight comes. In this, it is Mumbai, it looks like Dante's Inferno. You know what I mean? It's like you can see every face. It's a lovely visual.
I'm sure, but also very daunting, at least from where I see it.
It is a very scary show.
Yeah, because you can actually see everyone reacting in real time, and I don't know, I mean, it's crazy.
If a joke doesn't work, you see it. If a joke works, you really see it.
Yeah, but what happens on a day when you're performing and perhaps you see that this joke landed somewhere else? I mean, because every crowd reacts differently, right? But you're doing it probably at a home crowd and you expect it to land because it's more relatable here, but it surprisingly doesn't. How do you sort of like adapt?
Comedy is rewriting, it's not writing. So comedy is listening, recording, listening back, and then rewriting. So right now I'm writing new material for my new show. I'll write in the morning, I'll go to Habitat or J-Spot or something in the evening, and everything I thought would work does not work, and then suddenly the audience laughs at something else, and that is their way of letting you know is pe ja.
Yeah.
Right, and then you go back home, you re-listen to that, and then you write 3 more punchlines about that. I will rewrite a bit 6 times, 7 times, and if after 6 times it's still not working, let it go.
Yeah, then it's not working.
Then it's not, it's just for you that you are doing that. But sometimes you need a joke that's just for you also.
Yeah,
like
true.
You gotta have fun. Like there are 2 jokes in this special where it's just for me.
Which one? If you can tell me one.
One is where I talk about racists, right? And I talk about how racists have been culturally appropriated from. That's for me. Because I think that's a clever premise.
Yeah, because also you kind of relate it to your journey in ways people who know where you come from, what your journey has been.
But I'm proud of that take because it's every comedian talks about racism, but that's a clever take on racism that I've not seen a comedian take that angle before. But that's just for me. It's a part in the special where laughter is 10% less because it's, you're thinking about it a little bit. What is he really trying to say here?
Yeah.
But
especially for people who have, in the West, I believe, who have perhaps not gone through it.
But I also like a stranger coming to town in New York and in London and telling you things about you.
Yeah.
Because you do that when you come here as well.
Yeah, true.
Right?
Absolutely.
Every day on YouTube, I see one Western blogger. Here's what it's like to be in Mumbai. My God, the road and the people and the juice and the head massage, etc., etc. हमको भी आने दो ना, आपके बारे में बोलने दो थोड़ा सा, तो
मजा तो उसी में.
Yeah, so
I get what you're saying.
I like that,
No, I get it. But like you said, like you when you're doing a special, you try to put them in a create an atmosphere where you can say a joke and sort of like see how everyone is reciprocating, but when it is something related to the country, like there is one mention of Pakistan in it, right? Like
there's a joke about Pakistan.
The joke.
Yeah.
Do you change it a bit when you're performing in India versus when you're doing it in West? Because you understand that, you have tasted it before, that people are sensitive to certain things.
I mean, I should say two things. One, I do the same material everywhere. And two, the joke that I do about Pakistan, I think every Indian will laugh at that joke. It's not a very flattering joke about them. So it's...
yeah. No, I get what you're saying, No, but because, I mean, we have seen you brave a lot of things when it comes to just the comedy and the work that you do. Has that made... I don't see it happening because this special is clearly... but at least at a subconscious level, do you deal with that dilemma, whether or not should I do this or how people will react? Maybe you then let go of it?
No, you can't predict what is going to get you into, into virality or trouble or what will stay. That you'll go insane. It's the thing you never thought of. That is always going to be the problem. So you might as well just not think of it and deal with it when it comes. Gracefully or not gracefully. There's no correct way to deal with these things. But I don't think you can predict.
Absolutely. I have to firstly congratulate you. I mean, of course, we are looking forward to everyone reacting to this, but also congratulations on two things. One, on your book. Because I feel like, again, you have done something that you've never attempted before. I did read your...
It's the toughest thing. It's tougher than a special. It's tougher than a movie. The toughest thing you will ever do in life is write a book. I have mad respect for authors. They do it. It's the longest thing, and for the least amount of money. It takes 3 years to write a book properly. And I'm dyslexic, so for me to write a book is just a nightmare. It's very tough. I have mad respect for authors.
But I mean, then I'll say that was the most challenging part in itself, right? But what is that one thing that you've written in this book which we have not seen you or share before, and you're extremely proud of? Because, you know, sometimes not everything is said on stage. Sometimes
it's a memoir for losers. Very clearly. I've read too many celebrity memoirs where they're like, and then I did this, and I went through so much, and now I know this. And this whole book is for people who feel like they don't fit in, or people who are drifting, and who are still struggling with it. You know, it's a midlife memoir. It's not a retrospective memoir, right?
True.
So when my agency in America called me, like, you won an Emmy, now write a memoir. And then I was like, no, I don't feel like I'm ready unless it's this. So this book is to say, if you don't have your stuff together and you're still feeling lost, let me tell you about all my failures and chronicle all the times that I felt lost. And maybe that's you. So it's not a book about winning or success at all, and I'm proud of that.
Absolutely. And also the Emmys. I mean, I feel like you're representing us so well globally. But also, I mean, on a parting note now, you have so much more going on with your film coming in, where you're also co-written, co-directed, and also you're singing.
I'm singing as well.
Oh my God, after a long time, right?
Yeah, I haven't done a Hindi movie in... I walked away from it 9 years ago to really pursue stand-up.
And now just coming back to it, I mean...
We'll see.
But how is it all going? At what stage are we in?
I'm in post. I was thinking about it the other day. I've been very fortunate in that whatever little tribe I have has grown. And I hope it's grown enough to come and see a movie also.
Of course, and you're underplaying it. There's a huge tribe out there for you, Veer.
We'll see.
Globally, in fact. So
we'll see.
Always rooting for you and always looking forward to everything that you have to offer. Thank you so much for this chat.
Thank you very much.